Hey, George.
Hey, Nick.
Sorry to interrupt this episode of Reslayer's Take, but we have to tell the people about ButcherBox.
Oh, yeah. Listen, friends, we only do ads for sponsors we think are great, and ButcherBox is on our good list.
ButcherBox sent us each a customized box of high-quality meat, and they were so freaking good. It's so convenient having a box of incredible meat in your freezer without ever having to step foot in a grocery store.
And the greatest part? This antibiotic-free and humanely raised meat comes with plenty of curated tips and recipes. So whipping up awesome dinners is a cinch.
These prices are impossible to beat for the quality, and where the heck else can you get free protein for a whole dang year? Not the grocery store. So sign up at butcherbox.com/reslayer and get our special deal.
ButcherBox is offering our listeners a free for a year offer plus an additional $20 off. Choose chicken breast, salmon, or ground beef free in every order for a year. Sign up today at butcherbox.com/reslayer and use code RESLAYER to choose your free for a year offer, plus $20 off your first order.
Let's get grillin'.
Hello, Halflings! George Primavera here to tell you about Three Black Halflings, a conversational comedy podcast hosted by Jasper Cartwright, Olivia Kennedy, and Jeremy Cobb. Three nerdy friends with strong opinions and even stronger charisma scores. Having grown up in different corners of the world, they bring a diverse range of perspectives as they talk about their experiences as people of color in pop culture fandoms, D&D, and the TTRPG community. Born of a love of all things nerdy, all three of them share personal and often hilarious stories, challenge typical fantasy tropes, and tackle diversifying fantasy, all whilst discussing the things they love. From Lord of the Rings to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, playing your first tabletop role-playing game, or advice for seasoned adventurers, there's something for everyone. They've brought on an array of guests from all around the roleplay community and beyond, including Christina Ariel, Brendan Lee Mulligan, Jake Hurwitz, Lou Wilson, and many more. The list goes on and on. Join them in their quest to explore diversity in the incredible worlds of D&D and pop culture through thought-provoking conversations and good times. Subscribe to Three Black Halflings on Apple, Spotify, Pocket Casts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every Monday and Thursday. So long, Shire folk!
Welcome to the Reslayer's Take. I'm George Primavera.
And I'm Nick Williams. In this podcast, George and I lead a group of players through an exciting improvised adventure in Exandria, the magical world of Critical Role.
We're playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, but you won't need to know the rules to follow along. All you need to know is that nothing the players do is scripted or planned, and their fates are determined by their own cleverness and the random chance of rolling a 20-sided die.
You can listen to new episodes of The Reslayer's Take every Monday, anywhere you stream podcasts.
Or if you want to listen to the podcast 2 weeks early and uninterrupted by ads, join Beacon at beacon.tv.
Last but certainly not least, if you're enjoying the story, please consider leaving a rating and review. Your feedback might inspire someone new to join this adventure.
Now, without further ado,
welcome to the Reslayer's Take.
Hera, Farah, Edrin, Frog, Poogs, and Timpani are gathered around a small fire on the side of a craggy path in the Utaspire Mountains. It is oddly quiet, save for the wind whistling through the peaks. Yet, despite this quiet, it still feels as though many pairs of eyes are watching you move, like unseen monsters are deciding whether or not you seem like a group of tasty snacks. Timpani stares around confused, sandwiched in the middle of the party to prevent another surprise escape, and connected to Frog at the waist by 10 feet of rope.
Uh-oh, Captain, looks like we got a man overboard!
Yeah, okay, Timpani, okay.
Frog gently tugs the rope at her waist to keep Timpani in check.
Oh, that's nice. Let's dance. And Timpani begins to ballroom dance as best he can while sandwiched within the group. La da 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 ba la da dum ba ga da ba da la ba da. Let's dance now. Da ba da da la ba da da. Yep, hey, here we go, dance.
Frog tugs harder.
Whoa!
Hera, is this how he always sounds to you?
Hera is picking the dirt out from underneath her nails with her dagger, looking a bit more sullen than usual.
You know, I have never been very fond of the furball, but it is breaking my heart to see him this way.
Hey, Poogs. This endless sense of foreboding, is that normal or are we in danger?
You don't always feel like that?
Yes, it's normal, and yes, we're probably in danger.
What do we need to look out for?
The biggest thing? Just look for anything sticking out of the ground. This is notorious land shark territory.
Hey, Poogs. I know you're saying that there's like a lot of stuff to be afraid of here, but is there anyone you're excited to see in your home?
Well, I used to have a pet skull spider, but something tells me we wouldn't get along now, so that's gonna be a no. This is a lot of questions, guys. Let's keep moving. Come on, Timpani. Timpani, come on. Put that down. Get that out of your mouth.
Blah.
After about an hour and a half of walking, the Reslayer's take come to the base of one of the largest mountains in the Utaspire mountain range.
We're here.
Poogs looks ahead with big, anxious eyes at a cave entrance. This tunnel clearly carves deep into this mountain, and piles of bones litter the entrance, though who or what the bones may have belonged to are a total mystery. Some are tiny enough to have come from little vermin, and others are much too large to have come from anything humanoid in appearance. Everybody make a nature check.
25.
12.
19.
6.
Farah points to one of the larger bones. This the land shark you're talking about?
Oh yeah, that's a land shark skeleton. See how tough the bones are?
Farah knocks twice.
They are extremely hard. Farah, you have encountered these before, but you know them by a different name, a bulette. While called land sharks because of the way they rapidly burrow through the earth and attempt to devour anything that moves, they look more like a cross between a shark and a rhinoceros, and they are formidable predators. The tunnel ahead is pitch black.
My home village is at the end of this tunnel. Fair warning, we might be in for the fight of our lives. But there's a medic I know inside. His name's Freaksa the Wrathful. If I offer to come back and rejoin the Horde and submit to Gorgontha Khan's will, he might be willing to do us a favor, but if he says no, we're gonna have to convince him.
So, these people, you left them and their way of life?
I did. I don't like to talk about this time of my life very much, but there was a time when I was afflicted by the curse of Strife. And what that means is, you just become obsessed with war and conquest and violence, and I really don't like who I used to be in those days.
Sorry, Poogs. My father used to deal with something similar.
Yeah, it's tough to deal with. When I met Timpani, I was trying to rob him.
Well, who among us hasn't tried to take someone's possessions before?
Frog quickly shoots her arm up.
Jordyn does as well.
Timpani says, "Oh, no barbecue for me, please. I'm a vegetarian."
Anyway, when I confronted Timpani, all he did was show me kindness after kindness and so much patience, and eventually I felt the hold of the curse lift. It was amazing. It was like I was a whole new person. I know Timpani might not be the smartest guy, and heck, I'm not either, but he's the nicest guy I know. He'd do anything for me, and I bet he'd do anything for you too.
When I first met Timpani, I wanted to pull out his fur, hair by hair. His voice, everything about him stirred my own curse of strife within me. But you know, everywhere that stupid man goes, people love him, and I think that speaks to his character, who he is rather admirable. And you know, Poogs, you are not defined by the things you did, but by the things you will do, right? So, whatever happens in there, I would like for you to know that I have no aversion to dispatching of your former family. If you don't feel up to it, I will do it for you.
Thank you. All right, come on. Anybody got a light?
Timpani holds up a rock.
Nope.
I can fix that. Jordyn casts light on the rock that Timpani is holding.
Oh, sorry, that's not it. Timpani drops the rock.
And Poogs picks it up.
All right, let's go.
40 feet in front of you is illuminated by the glowing rock in this low-ceilinged tunnel. Frog and Timpani both have to hunch a bit to avoid stray stalactites hanging down.
Frog rifles through her journal, explaining to the party.
So I learned that stalactites stick tight to the ceiling, and stalagmites might grow taller. That's how you can tell the difference.
Hira tries to find a moment while navigating the stalagmites to draw up closer to Jordyn and say gently,
So, if your father had this affliction, does that mean that you are going to one day go crazy? Because I want you to know, if the day comes, I will also dispatch of you. That is friendship.
As much as I appreciate that, Hira, no need to worry. My father wasn't afflicted with anything. He just dealt with those that suffered from something called the Curse of Ruin. Sounds a bit like this Curse of Strife, to be honest. Can I tell you a secret?
Discretion is my specialty.
My mother used to say that the Curse of Ruin was all a load of nonsense. Something the Kreen dynasty made up to convince people to get consecuted. My father didn't like it when she said that. They used to fight terribly.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what this consummation, I don't know what that is.
Oh, it's a process of attaching one's soul to a magical artifact called the Luxon. It's called consecution.
Yes, consecration.
You see, when people in the Kreen dynasty go through the ritual of consecution and then later pass away, their souls don't travel to the afterlife. They are born again in another body. Apparently, I'm consecuted, according to my father, but you're supposed to remember your past lives by the time you're my age, and I can't. Sometimes I have these crazy dreams, nightmares, really. But they feel distant and far away. But in the lighthouse, it was like all my nightmares had come for me at once, and they felt so real. When I was a child, my mother used to tell me to ignore them. Just dreams, she said, just dreams. Nothing to dwell on. But lately, I don't know.
Okay, here's the gate. The light illuminates the gate in question, comprised of pillars of wood that form a palisade with spiked tops, scraping the rocks of the ceiling. Each wooden pillar almost the thickness of the tree from which it was hewn. On the wall next to the gate that seals off the remainder of the tunnel is a confusing painted message. It seems to read, Gorgontha Khan's Horde Hive, written in Goblin, which Hira is the only one to understand without Poogs' clarification. But the Horde part of the sign has been X'd out, with a sloppily written hug written above it.
Huh. Probably just the hobgoblins messing with Gorgontha Khan. There'll probably be a 10-year war just because of that. Oh, looks like they stole the creepy skeleton that used to hang on the gate too. Make that 20 years.
Hira walks up to the writing and inspects if the handwriting is the same.
Roll an investigation check.
24.
It is not, almost certainly written in a different hand.
She looks over to Poogs and says,
Might be right. It's written by two different people. This is very sloppy handwriting.
Farah looks around to see if there's any way to open the gate.
Roll an investigation check.
17.
There are two handles on the other side of the gate on opposite walls that look like they can be turned. As you analyze the mechanisms of the gate, you determine that the gate is supposed to retract into the floor when opened, rather than opening with a swinging motion.
Can any one of you just, poof over there?
I can try something.
Hira strides up to the gate and says in Goblin,
Oi! We's are back from a good crumping, and we've got a laid on who's defaced Gorgontha Khan's gate. Let us in before I thump ya.
Oh my gosh, you speak Goblin?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, your accent is flawless.
There is no response.
Jordyn looks through the palisade gate and casts Unseen Servant. Kindly open the gate, please.
You can't see the unseen servant, but you do see dust move as it scuttles through the dirt towards one of the handles. That handle turns. There is a large mechanical clunking from somewhere deep within the rocky walls. But nothing moves. The unseen servant walks to the other handle. As the first handle is released, the clunking seems to move in the opposite direction. Jordyn, make an investigation check.
22. They need to be turned at the same time. Here, I'll teleport one of you to the other side. Edrin casts Vortex Warp to teleport Hera from this side to the other side, telling his unseen servant to flip the switch at the same time that she does.
The space around Hera begins to distort and warp. There is a blinking and a popping sound, and Hera is suddenly on the other side of the gate.
Hera turns the handle.
The unseen servant does the same at the same time, and the gate slowly retracts into the ground.
Great job, guys.
Great job, guys.
Timpani?
Timpani's eyeline hits a stalagmite. And what's your name?
All right, come on. Just a little further.
Now beyond the gate, Poogs is clearly growing tense. Everybody make a perception check.
18.
14.
17.
Natural 1.
Farah, lagging behind slightly, is the last to be able to hear the distant din of jabbering goblins.
Okay. Everybody just walk in slow. Act like you belong here. And maybe they'll think we're here to do business with Gorgonthacon.
Heeding Poogs' words, Hera boldly strides forward and starts her own yammering.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We're here to see big old Gorgate. Got some busy wizzy. Yeah, out of the way.
That's perfect. Keep that energy up.
The Reslayers keep moving through the winding tunnel and soon see light spilling onto the floor from around the corner. As they round that corner, they see an enormous cavern with ceilings hundreds of feet high, packed full of goblins jabbering away in what looks like a town square. Yurts sit haphazardly placed in a random configuration illuminated by lanterns hanging from street lamps and intermittent glowing stones. One goblin, leaning up against the entrance to the tunnel that leads into the main square, suddenly turns and stands up straight.
Hey, you!
Oh gods! Everybody, get ready! Get back!
The goblin runs up, holding something large in his hands.
I'm warning you!
Welcome to the Hog Hive!
And overturns a wooden basket filled with prickly red fruit that spill out at your feet.
Have a blessed day!
What?
A smile is on almost every single goblin's face as they walk back and forth between busy stalls in what is now clearly an absolutely charming little market. You can even hear music being played in the distance. Some goblins are picking fruits from scraggly underground bushes in makeshift orchards. Others barter linens and other goods with each other, socializing affectionately and joyously. Poogs is too shocked to keep walking.
Is this like a shoreside aisle situation?
Check your weapons, everybody. Are they lit up? Are they all possessed?
Farah takes a look at her crossbow.
The runes are still dark and no spectral bolt forms in the chamber. No ghosts nearby.
I mean, mine's not lit up, but it didn't light up that last time either.
Poogs, how long have you been gone?
Little more than a year.
A lot can change in a year, buddy.
Do you recognize anyone?
I guess there's only one way to find out. We can try to find Freaksa. That's his yurt up over there. Be careful, it could be a trap. Come on, Timpani. Timpani, out of your mouth!
Farah heads towards Freaks' yurt.
Poogs hesitantly follows right behind, and the rest of the Reslayers follow suit. As they pass many of these goblins, the friendly waves are numerous, and Poogs, wide-eyed, is staring around in wonder.
I can't believe this. They're all free. Something lifted the curse. But how?
And it's just then, as the Reslayers approach the base of the hill on top of which Freaksa's yurt is placed, that his door opens, and you see
Freaksa the Wrathful? What happened to you?
Freaksa the Wrathful is a slightly older goblin with dark green skin and long gray hair that's been pulled back into a ponytail. He wears a hemp smock with a peace sign on it embroidered. His nails are painted pink, as are his toenails, but you can't see those because those are under some lovely leather sandals.
Poogs? Brother Poogs? Is that you?
Freaksa?
Poogs!
Freaksa goes over and embraces Poogs in a warm hug.
Blessed day to you!
Blessed day to you! What's going on?
Oh, that's right. It's been quite some time, and Much has changed around here, brother.
You don't seem wrathful.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I don't really go by Freetza the Wrathful anymore. My new name is Freedom Windsong. It seemed to suit my spirit better.
That's a beautiful name.
Well, I'm trying.
Jordyn immediately goes in for a hug of his own.
Oh, of course. Bring it on in, stranger.
Oh no, he's gonna stab you in the neck.
I'm gonna hug you in the neck.
Freedom steps back to admire Poogs' new friends.
Oh, please, what are your names? I'm Freedom, and welcome to my hug hive. It used to be called a horde hive, but, well, things have changed.
I'm Farah.
Instead of responding in common, Hira very pointedly says,
Oi! G'day, mate!
You speak the goblin tongue. How fortunate. And yes, I get a sense from your energy that it's very positive and optimistic. Lovely to meet you.
Oh man, you've gotten Hira just right.
And you, armored friend?
Oh, hi. My name is Frog. Could I ask you, what does that symbol on your smock mean?
That symbol means community, sharing, happiness, and a bright future together.
Frog jots that down in her journal.
Freedom Windsong, taking a look at Frog, will now make an investigation check.
Natural 1.
That's lovely armor you've got there.
Oh, thank you. I was born into it.
But you won't need it around here. This community is a place of loving and giving and sharing. Well, it is now. Not maybe when Poogs left us.
This used to be a raider camp. That over there used to be the loot pile, but is that whipped slug milk they're giving out?
Condensed whipped slug milk. It's sweeter that way.
We never got sweet stuff down here.
Oh, and I haven't met your other, taller, furrier friend.
Timpani engages a small barrel and a large barrel in conversation. Ah, sweet kid. You must be a very proud dad.
Yeah, that's sort of why we're here, Freedom. This is my best friend Timpani. He's a real friendly guy, but something happened. He's sick. He's got a heck of a fever, and we don't know what to do. We were wondering if you could take a look at him?
Freedom hops on the barrel next to Timpani and puts a warm, loving hand on his shoulder.
Let me see what I can discern. I'm a bit of a healer.
After a moment of inspection, placing the back of his hand on Timpani's forehead and feeling the fever that is still burning hotter and hotter, Freedom turns to the group.
Oh dear. Oh dear. These are the symptoms of a mind fire contagion. It's a curse, but these symptoms are so severe, I would call it more of a mind inferno. Your friend, has he been acting differently lately?
Yes, he seems to think that inanimate objects are people, children, and food.
But like the energy's the same.
Timpani gives a thumbs up to a wall.
Yeah, we have this rope tied around him in case he tries to run away very frantically.
He also seems to think he's somebody else. Randalshim Hoopscallion?
Dr. Randalshim Hoopscallion to you, missus.
Well, luckily, you're in the presence of a real doctor, and perhaps I can help him. Please, come into my yurt. I've got all sorts of healing balms and ointments there.
And the Reslayers follow Freedom Windsong into his yurt. And now for a brief intermission.
Creating really great retail experiences is tough, especially with multiple stores, teams of staff, fulfillment centers, separate workflows. It's a lot. But with Shopify Point of Sale, you can do it all without complexity.
Shopify's point of sale system is a unified command center for your retail business. It brings together in-store and online operations, even across 1,000 locations.
Imagine being able to guarantee that shopping is always convenient. Endless aisle, ship to customer, buy online, pick up in stores, all made simpler so customers can shop how and where they want and staff have the tools they need to close the sale every time.
And let's face it, acquiring new customers is expensive. With Shopify POS, you can keep existing shoppers coming back to your stores with consistent, tailored experiences and first-party data that give marketing teams a competitive edge.
Want more?
Yeah!
Check it out at shopify.com/r/ all lowercase and learn how to create the best retail experiences without complexity.
That's shopify.com/r/.
Cha-ching!
With the planning, recording, and editing that go into the Reslayer's Take, Nick and I aren't left with a lot of time for exercise.
Luckily, our sponsor, Tonal, has helped us use the time we actually have to create personalized workouts just for us. Tonal learns from your movement and provides suggested weight recommendations for every move, and they even give you detailed reports on your progress.
They create personalized programs and workout suggestions based on your individual goals. Like me, I want the rogue-like agility to backflip over dungeon traps.
And I want the berserker strength to hold a heavy door up for my friends so they can escape the undead hordes thanks to my heroic sacrifice. With Tonal, you can do it all. It's like having a personal trainer at home with you.
Unlike traditional gym equipment, Tonal uses adaptive digital weight to advance your training techniques.
Whether you're a professional athlete or a cake-loving dungeon master like us, Tonal can be trusted to help you become your strongest, most fit self.
Right now, Tonal is offering our listeners $200 off your Tonal purchase with promo code RESLAYER. That's Tonal.com and use promo code RESLAYER for $200 off your purchase.
Tonal.com, promo code RESLAYER for $200 off.
Let's roll those athletics checks. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, George. Are you looking for more actual play podcasts? Well, there's never been a better time to jump on board with The Adventure Zone, the RPG podcast from the McElroy family. They're doing shorter seasons and campaigns now, so there are new stories more often, and it's easy to catch up if you come in late. Right now, Griffin McElroy is GMing a story for his brothers, Justin and Travis, and their dad, Clint. They're using D&D 5th edition, the same game system as the Reslayer's Take, so it should sound pretty familiar. It's called The Adventure Zone vs. Dracula. And yes, these guys are going to take down Dracula. Hopefully. Find out by subscribing to The Adventure Zone wherever you listen to podcasts, and tell them George sent you. Now back to the show.
Freedom's yurt is spacious but dimly lit, very cozy and warm inside. There's recovery hammocks over in one corner, a yoga area, a lovely kombucha bar, and a quiet corner for meditation and reflection. And Poogs, you'll notice that I kept your old skull spider in a cage over there.
Ear devourer? Is that you?
The spider stands up on all 8 legs.
Easy, girl. Easy.
Poogs unlocks the cage. The spider leaps out onto his chest.
Whoa! Okay.
Poogs takes a small ration out of his pocket, which the spider quickly devours. And then it settles, calm, on his chest as Poogs strokes its abdomen.
That's okay, girl. Yeah, it's me.
She's been missing you something awful. And to be honest, so have I, Poogs.
Tears begin to well up in Poogs' eyes.
This is such a nice surprise.
Just then, 6 goblins enter through the yurt, all wearing smocks with peace signs painted on them.
These attendants should help your friend. They've got to put him to sleep for a while so they can diagnose him and treat him. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
One of the goblins hops up onto a nearby counter to get on Timpani's level.
All right, big fella, keep an eye on the thingy. Right here.
That tomfoolery won't work. Timpani's body begins to tip forward like a giant tree towards the kombucha bar.
And 5 goblins catch him in a trust fall, transferring him to a cot.
Frog unties the rope from her waist.
So you said it was gonna take a while?
Could be several hours, yes.
Okay, where should we wait?
Actually, if you'll humor me, I've got an idea. Something I've been wanting to show you, Poogs.
Okay, can they come?
I would be blessed to have them.
I don't know what's in this tea, but it's kind of making me feel down for anything, so sure.
Farrah analyzes, seeing whether or not he really is blessed to have us.
Roll an insight check.
7. Farrah, not seeing any threat, grabs a glass of kombucha as well.
Okay, lead the way, Dr. Windsong.
And Freedom does. Exiting the yurt, walking back out into the center of town with the Re-Slayers behind, and then hangs a left down a different pathway where there is the beginnings of another tunnel system, well lit by lanterns every 40 feet. A soft roar in the distance grows louder as you walk, and as the tunnel starts to descend extra deep, the lanterns growing fewer and farther in between, the cave ceiling suddenly ascends many hundreds of feet high once again, and a glorious underground waterfall, decorated with multicolored lanterns ornamenting it, is revealed. It is genuinely awe-inspiring. In the middle of the pool, of somehow crystal blue water, is a stone pillar, piercing out of the water about 5 feet. At the top of the pillar, on a pedestal, is a stone representation of what looks like a goblin's open palm, gently holding a beautifully crafted cupcake.
Whoa.
It's beautiful.
Is that a salt bomb?
I'm not sure what a salt bomb is. That's a statue of a glorious moment in time.
What are you talking about? Do you guys make cupcakes down here?
We don't make cupcakes per se, but in a way, one cupcake made us. About a year ago, if I may tell you a story, this was a much scarier village, filled with stabbing, raiding, stealing. I was a battle medic under Gorgonthacon, and Poogs here was my stab squire. One day, Poogs left us, and Gorgonthacon was not pleased. He sent me to retrieve the traitor known as Poogs. I tracked him through the forests, and I found him, vowing to get my revenge and bring him back to the village. I laid in wait, dagger in hand, waiting for my opportunity to seek revenge.
And then you have all the setup. How did you fail?
While I was waiting for my opportunity to strike, I saw something most peculiar. Poogs took a long time to make something. It was a cupcake. A simple pastry. Sweet. Beautiful. Perfect.
Sweet? Was it really sweet?
I did not have the honor of tasting this one, for after he was done baking and crafting it, he gave it to another, selflessly passing on his hard work to a friend. It was the one you call Timpani, and Timpani, so touched and moved by this gesture, ate it, and a smile crept across his face. I had never seen anything quite so pure, so innocent. And in that moment, the curse of strife was lifted from my body, and I became aware that life is about so much more than raiding and stealing and hurting. It's about sharing and loving and experiencing the wonder of energy. I came back to my village and I spread the word. I told them the story of this sweet cupcake, this sweet gesture that broke the curse on me. And that story spread through the village, breaking the curse of strife for everyone. We renamed the village the Hug Hive and have been living in peace ever since. The end.
Are you married to that name?
Why? Do you have a better one?
I think maybe we should brainstorm. You can help us with our name. We can help you with this Hug Hive.
Of your whole party, you are clearly the one with the most optimism and hope. Maybe we should call it a Hope Hive.
Farah turns to Hira, smirking. Yeah, maybe we should call it a Hope Hive.
Wait, so you're saying my cupcake making broke your curse? And then you saved everyone?
Brother Poogs, I'm telling you that you saved everyone with your gesture. So we erected this monument to that moment, and in a way, to you.
You mean that everybody heard about my cupcake? And now nobody stabs anybody anymore? That's the most beautiful thing I have ever heard!
Freedom comforts him and holds him.
There. Let it all out. It's okay. It's okay to feel.
Wanting to live up to her new reputation as being hopeful, Hira says supportively,
Oi, sometimes it's not the big things, but the small things that add up, and then, it is what it is.
More wise words. Thank you, Hira. But Poogs, there's more. This monument isn't a mere statue. It is a blessed place. In fact, the generous blessings that have spread through our village are imbued in this statue. Many who have meditated at its feet have received benefits, gifts of their own. Perhaps if you meditated here at this monument, you might receive some as well.
We could sure give it a shot. Hey, buddy. Do you have any of those cupcakes left? I have a few in my bag.
Poogs opens his backpack, and there are not individual cupcakes, but rather a squished mash of cupcakes at the bottom. This massive cake is soaked through with quicksand from Josgrin's Hollow.
Edrin puts his hand into the bag and scoops a disgusting blob of what used to be cupcake, kind of like an offering. Then, Edrin walks towards the statue and kneels down with the dripping cake sand in his hand.
Poogs follows suit.
Hira walks over and effortlessly puts herself into a headstand, balancing on her horns, and closes her eyes with her legs crossed.
Poogs places some of his cupcake that he gathered next to Hira.
Emulating the monks that raised her, Frog sits at the shore of the waterfall with her legs crisscrossed beneath her, palms open.
Farah sits down on the ground and just closes her eyes.
Freedom closes his eyes and announces to the group,
Now, everyone, close your eyes and feel the wonder of giving. Feel the wonder of receiving. Feel the wonder of sharing.
And from the water around the cupcake statue, little blue motes of light begin to swirl in a gentle cyclone. A breeze from nowhere begins to tousle your hair as the blue lights settle on each of your still forms, everyone's eyes closed. And as they do, Farah, Hira, and Edrin, you suddenly gasp as clean, fresh air fills your lungs. And Frog, your blue crystalline eyes glow brighter. And the lights go out. All of you feel a humming of power in your bones and mechanisms. Each of our party is granted a permanent +1 bonus to their armor class, and for just a brief moment, each of your weapons glow before going dormant once more, vibrating with this new magical enhancement.
Freedom opens his eyes.
All right, everyone, it's been a few hours. We should probably head back and check on your friend.
Somewhat in disbelief, Hira rolls off her horns and into a cross-legged position and says,
I don't believe it has been hours.
Yes, when you feel hope in your heart, time just flies.
The Reslayers get to their feet. Freedom Windsong leads them back up the steep tunnel into the main square of the Goblin Village, and then up the smaller hill into the healing yurt. Timpani is fast asleep on one of the cots, wrapped head to toe in glowing moss.
He's doing great, Brother Windsong.
Thank you, Jaffe. Now, your friend will need a cleansing ritual to clear him of this curse. It might take a little bit more time. Can I interest you in dinner while you wait? I've got a pot of vegan stew on the fire right now.
Yeah, that sounds great.
I could eat.
I can't eat.
Oh, of course. You must be on a cleanse of some sort. In that case, how about aromatherapy for you?
Sounds delicious.
Several of the attendants lead the Reslayers outside to a small back patio area with a beautifully crafted fire pit and a place for a big cauldron of vegan stew to hang over that fire. The activity in the town below this hill winds down slowly, and the atmosphere grows more and more peaceful. Freedom Windsong finishes adding a bunch of spices to the cauldron.
Enjoy your meal. I'm gonna go back inside and prepare for the ritual. Bless you all.
Thanks, Freedom. This has been incredible.
Oh, and Poogs, so that your cupcakes are sweeter in the future, here.
Freedom hands Poogs a packet of condensed slug milk.
Ooh, I'll try it out. Thanks, Freedom.
Thank you, Freedom.
And Dr. Windsong closes the door to his yurt.
Wow, what a long way this place has come. Hey, did you guys know this village is the site of a high-profile Slayer's take kill from back in the day?
Uh-oh.
Oh, don't worry, that was forever ago.
Yeah, well, so are the other ones we killed. Farah racks her brain trying to see if she can remember the creature that was slain here.
Roll a history check.
25. The thing that was slain here was, well, we call it a mind flayer. Ever heard of it?
Everyone roll a history, nature, or an arcana check.
16.
21.
18.
Farah is the only one of you with any knowledge of this creature.
I've never heard of that.
Frog opens her journal, ready to take notes.
I mean, the most important thing is they flay minds.
And flay is a bad thing?
Flaying is very, very bad.
Yeah, they used to keep its skeleton hung up on the gate, but those hobgoblins probably took it.
Well, it's following the theme of aberrations, so...
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand your concern, Farah, but that skeleton was wreathed in cursed magic items, and I bet looters would have taken it first chance they got, especially if there was no one guarding the gate like normal.
So that skeleton could be anywhere?
It's been a year since I've been back. It could be all the way in Tal'Dorei by now.
Pulling Farah aside, Hira says,
I surely hope this isn't the case, but should we go just take a look and see how long the bones have been missing or where they may have been dragged to?
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt to ask around.
Would you like for me to translate?
I mean, it's going well so far, so...
Oi, you there!
Oi, what are you all about?
There was some bones hung up over that there gate. Where'd they get to?
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, they did disappear one day. Don't know where they went.
They disappeared?
Yeah, poof, gone.
How long about to go was that?
Oh, say like about a week ago.
A week ago?
A week ago.
You know who done took them?
Not a clue, mate, not a clue.
Oi. That's a downright shame.
That goblin from down the hill goes back to sewing in a rocking chair.
Farah leaves the fire and heads towards the gate.
Hira follows, relaying the information she got from one of the locals.
Okay, you guys go check it out. A week ago. All right, guys, now I'm getting kind of worried. That timing's a little suspicious.
Yeah, I would really hate for anything bad to happen to this wonderful place.
Everybody make a wisdom save.
12.
20.
21.
9.
There is a sharp ringing that pierces each of your brains. Farah and Frog both take 34 points of psychic damage. Hira and Edrin take 17. Farah is brought to 10 points of health, Hira to 21, Edrin to 15, and Frog to 9. All of them are brought to their knees. And similar to when the reflection Aboleth spoke to you telepathically, but much lower and much more painfully, a voice speaks to you.
Make peace with each other while you can. I'm coming soon.
Uh-oh.
The Reslayer's Take is a Meta Pigeon production in partnership with and distributed by Critical Role Productions, developed in association with Hero Club. Game mastered and produced by George Primavera and Nick Williams. Featuring Nick Williams as Timpani Guff, George Primavera as Poogs, Jasmine Bhullar as Hira Agniheart, Jasmine Chiong as Farah, Jasper Cartwright as Edrin Shadowstep, and Caroline Lux as Frog. With special guest Sam Riegel as Freedom Windsong. Also featuring Chuck McCollum, Gabe Greenspan, and Natasha Mercado as the Goblins of the Hug Hive. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.